Hi everyone, this is Carno here from Carnovash Tech and Games. Today I have a tech review for you. It's my first review and I'm quite excited about it. Today I'm gonna review the Corsair H115i PRO. It's an all-in-one water cooler. I just bought this one for myself early this year, which is 2020. And I hope you enjoy the review. Here we have the box of the Corsair H115i PRO. It's quite a large one. It's a beefy box with some beefy contents. The cooler itself is very low in noise and the cooling capabilities are very good. Corsair claims that the H115i PRO produces 20.4 decibels when both the 140mm RGB fans spin at their maximum. So let's have a closer look at this great cooler. The cooler itself is made of mixed materials. The plate material of the cooling block is made of copper, where the 280mm radiator is made of pure aluminium. Because it is a closed loop cooler, I do not expect any problem with that. The cooler, at least, keeps my processor nice and cool. And it's quite a good looking cooler, as I say so. I just love the slick design and the meshed flexible tubes from and to the radiator. I built this one in my case, the Cooler Master Case H500, a great case which will get its own review I believe in the future. The placing of the radiator in the front was both an aesthetical choice and it was a practical one. Because of the size of my RAM, two G.Skill DDR4 Ripjaws V 16GB 3200 MHz modules, I couldn't fit my radiator in the top. So for airflow I have the fans on the radiator suck air into the case, where fans on the top and in the back of the case blow the air out of it. So let's take a look inside the box. Inside the box there is a closed loop cooler and a lot of brackets for mounting this on both Intel and AMD processors. For Intel they support the following sockets: the 1200, the 1150, the 1151, the 1155, 1156, 1366, 2011 and the 2066. For AMD they support the following sockets: the AM4, the AM3 and the AM2. There is a special case for the STRX4 and the STR4. A special bracket should be purchased from the Corsair web store to mount it to the processor and the motherboard. So, what are some statistics about this really cool cooler? I've used some benchmark to test it on my own PC, and you see the specs of my PC over here. Well, just to say, I'm not a real confident tweaker, so I haven't overclocked my processor, well, yet. But when I do, I will sure make a video about that. So now let's take a look at how good this cooler cools. So for measuring the temperatures, I use HWMonitor from CPU ID. I think they provide quite reliable temperatures. For benchmarking, I use the following tools, where I recorded the maximum temperature of my processor: Cinebench, CPU Mark by PassMark and the 7 benchmark from 7-Zip. I also used the benchmarking of Shadow of the Tombraider and the benchmarking of GTA 5. Next I measured the temperatures while in the Nyalota, the walking city raid in World of Warcraft. Looking at the idle temperatures now by my processor, they are 28 degrees centigrade or 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Here you see the results of the test. First, Cinebench. It showed a maximum temperature of 74 or 156 degrees Fahrenheit. At the top of the CPU Mark test from PassMark, I measured a maximum temperature of 82 degrees or 181 degrees Fahrenheit during the extended instruction or SSE test. Overall, I measured an average temperature of 58 or 136 degrees Fahrenheit. Finally, the 7 benchmarked topped at 44 degrees Celsius or 111 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, the games itself did not show that much of a difference. Looking at the Shadow of the Tombraider, I reached a maximum of 61 or 142 degrees. In the benchmark provided by Grand Theft Auto 5, I reached a temperature of 59 or 138 degrees. Furthermore, I have done some raiding in World of Warcraft. In the Nyalota raid, I reached a maximum of 59 degrees centigrade or 138 degrees Fahrenheit. So, looking at this, it's basically around the same figures. Overall, some pretty nice results from this closed loop cooler. I like the H115i PRO cooler from Corsair. The looks, the performance, it doesn't let you down. And for about 120 euros or also $120, I think it's worth for your money. Talking about the aesthetics, RGB, who doesn't have some emotion attached to it? You love it or you hate it. Personally, I like RGB, and this cooler has some as well. The fans haven't, but they can easily be replaced by any other RGB fan. But the block on the processor has the Corsair logo light up very nicely. Corsair comes with its own utility, called IQ. You can manage the lighting of all of your Corsair device over there. I have a cool K70 RGB keyboard from Corsair, which probably will also be featured in its own video, and a controller for some RGB fans in my case. Using IQ, you can change the RGB LEDs on the cooler block to whatever you want. For its purpose, the software is okay. Do not expect too much from it, but it does the job. The IQ software has some really cool lighting effects, which can be shown on the cooling block. Rainbow, visor, music, static color. You can do whatever you want. You just have to love the possibilities. And if you're not a fan of RGB, well, just turn it off then. So, now, my final verdict. Well, I really like this cool color. I like the aesthetics, I like the cooling of it. And I would really like to recommend this cooler to everyone who wants some great cooling, wants some cooling who looks really amazing, but does not want to have the hustle of building a custom water loop for themselves. So, I hope you find this content valuable and it helped you making a decision if you want to buy the Corsair H115i PRO closed water cooler. So, it was great to review some tech. And if you have some comments, leave them in the section below. I would love to hear your comments about, well, everything about the video, maybe some suggestions on what to review next. So for now, this one was my review for Carnivor's Tech and Games, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.